mysterious music. Salut tout le monde, my name is Lukael. Welcome to The Forgotten City. This is a game developed by Modern Storyteller. It originally came out in 2015 as a Skyrim mod, but then the standalone release was in 2021, which is actually more recent than I thought. So this is a game that has been recommended to me quite often, I would say, in the last few years. Like ever since I've played Outer Wilds, I've seen it mentioned in my comments like every now and then. I never really see it being discussed that much, but I've only heard positive about it, so I've been curious to try it out. This is yet another title where I'm jumping in without really knowing anything about it. The only thing I know about this game is I think it's centered around a time loop, and that's pretty much all I know. I don't know what the gameplay style is. I don't know what the story is about. I assume it's about a forgotten city. But you know me, I like to jump into games completely blind, not knowing what to expect, and so that's what's happening today. So all I'm gonna say for now is a big thank you for joining me, and without any further ado, let's play The Forgotten City. A message from the developers. This game was developed by a core team of 3 people over 4 years. Wow. This is a mystery adventure with multiple endings. It rewards thoughtful conversation and exploration of brute force. The fate of the city is in your hands. Alright, well, thoughtful exploration is kind of my specialty, dare I say. Present day. Oh, this is a little laggy.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Select your body type. Oh, so I can play either a man or a woman. I mean, not that it really matters, but I'm a guy, so I guess I'll play a guy. Sure. Skin tone is gonna be never leaves the house pale. And my name. I guess I'll just use my own name. It's me.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Got to zoom in.
I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
Oh, okay, so you can choose like your role. I was searching for ancient ruins. Archaeologist. Years of studying history give you occasional insights into the ancient world. Soldier. You have a military-issued firearm, but only 10 bullets. You'll have to use them judiciously, since there's no way to get more. Oh. Fugitive. Your time on the run from authorities has made you quick on your feet, and you're 25 faster when sprinting. I barely remember anything. Your recent head trauma has increased your pain threshold, making you 50% harder to take down? Okay, as always when you start a new game, like it's really hard to make these early game choices when you don't really know what the game is going to be like. Like you don't know what the gameplay style is. This is giving me insight. This is giving me bullets. This doesn't feel like the type of game that has fighting in it, but I don't know. Faster when sprinting? Like, is this useful? Or harder to take down? I mean, if I'm role-playing this character right now, I guess I don't really know why the hell I'm here. Also, interesting kind of shirt she's wearing. Are you in Organization 13? Alright, so the only thing I've seen from this game is like the cover image is like some Roman soldiers. So I'm guessing we're like traveling back in time to, what, Rome? In which case, I guess being an archaeologist would be kind of useful, right? And it pretty much fits my style more, so let's say archaeologist.
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you.
Yeah.
Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what.
Okay.
There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Sure. I'm glad you answered the question, why don't you just go there yourself? Because I was definitely going to ask that. I mean, I just woke up from nearly drowning in the river. I don't know if I'm like in great shape to be looking for someone in some ruins, but I get it. You made a promise. That's okay. Mind if I ask some questions first?
Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. I just... What do you want to know?
Now, obviously, like the lip sync, it's not great, but this is a game made by 4 people, so obviously we can't be too... Like, that's a very small team, so I'm not going to be too critical if it's a little rough around the edges. It doesn't really matter as long as the game is interesting, of course. So what's... Okay, we have a whole bunch of questions. Like, it seems mostly dialogue-based, right, this game? So I wonder what these bullets and, like, other stats are going to have to do with the game, but we'll see. So what's your story? How did you end up here?
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
You're not even going to tell me your name?
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
Well, you went through my wallet looking for my name. I feel like it's kind of fair that I would know your name. I'd really like to know, especially if I'm going to be helping you. Why don't you want to tell me?
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Thank you for saving my life, Karen. Why didn't you want to tell me your name? All those Karen memes have really ruined that name. Is it really that bad? Like, I know I've seen a few memes about the name Karen, but is it that bad? Okay, if I just woke up in the river, let's say I've never heard about these memes.
Look, if you really want to know all the tragic details, perhaps I can fill you in after you find Al?
Alright, sure. So who is Al?
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
Okay, well that's very suspicious. We probably washed up here together, like came from the same place. Or is people showing up on this riverbank just a regular occurrence? So where are we?
You really don't remember? We're in Italy.
Oh.
This river is the Tiber.
The Tiber, okay. So aren't we Italian? What can you tell me about the ruins?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al...
They said it was in the present day, right? So I'm not expecting to find much of interest in some ancient ruins. They've probably been looted out already. Have you tried calling for help?
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul.
Really?
Trust me.
Is Italy really that big that you can be lost in the wild? Like, I feel like it's pretty small. Isn't it a pretty small country? I'm gonna sound really ignorant if any Italians are watching this. That's all the questions I had.
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Sure. I'm going in for the priceless artifacts, but I'll keep an eye out for him. Alright, I'm in.
Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Some kind of journal? Oh, flashlight. A heavy-duty, battery-powered flashlight. We can examine it. I do love examining items. That's always fun. Thank you. New main goal, quid pro quo. Enter the ruins. Okay. Inspect the sleeping bag. I was asleep on this not long ago. It smells of campfire smoke and sweat. Sorry if I'm all sweaty. You would think the river washed away my sweat smell? Okay, this is quite laggy, I have to say. I might lower the settings. Just gonna put it all on medium and hope for the best. Karen.
Back already? What's up? Thanks again. And please, hurry.
That's a very, like, full head of hair you have. Okay, so we're just some random guy that showed up. Oh, I can jump. I have arms but no legs. Interesting. An old wooden rowboat. Karen must have used it to rescue me from the river. Well, that's very nice of her.
The ruins are just beyond those columns. Please, hurry.
Raise your flashlight. Oh. But it's battery powered, right? So it might run out of power eventually. I mean, it's not really that dark. Enter the ruins. Search for clues about Al's whereabouts. Ancient Roman ruins, huh? We can sprint. So this started out as a Skyrim mod, huh? It's so interesting when games start out as just like a mod for another game. It's like when a novel starts out as a fan fiction for another novel. Humble origins, but hey, that doesn't mean it can become like a whole new interesting thing. Okay. I feel like we're headed to Rapture or something. Backpack. Full of worn hiking clothes and empty food packets. Nothing valuable here, but still. Seems strange that Al left it whoa. Okay, you can really spin that thing. Yeah, there's no name on it, but I guess it's Al's backpack. I can't actually take it with me. So who lit up this torch?
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place." Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or a warning. Al Worth.
Al Worth. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life, but the wicked shall find themselves showered in gold. Well, you can see on the cover art of the game, like a Roman seemingly frozen as like a golden statue, as if having suffered a horrible fate. Also, the door just closed behind me. Why is this so laggy? I have like a pretty damn good computer. I've got like a 4080. I should be able to run this game and record it at the same time. Whoa! Well, I was gonna try and explore, but looks like we're falling. Okay, so we have... Oh. Okay, well, I'm hiding it, but there's like an oxygen meter right there. Right there. Right there. So I can only hold my breath for so long. Let's get the flashlight out. Underground city, huh? Find the entrance to the secret city. The Italians didn't really search this place for very long because it seems kind of easy to find. It's not so secret, really. That's a little creepy. Why do I hear like metal moving behind me? I don't like that. Are they like moving when I'm not looking? Is this an SCP situation? Ugh. I don't like that. Oh, they are. It's the heads that are turning. The heads turn to look at you. Okay, I see. So they are moving. And they're not really hiding either. Creepy. Some weeping angels shit. So, I don't know if I have like an inventory or anything. Oh. Quest tracking tip. To see the objective markers for a given quest, click the eye icon beside it. So we have main goals, leads. I was pulled out of a river by a young woman named Karen in return for saving my life. She wants me to find a man named Al who disappeared in some ancient ruins. I do have an inventory. Denarius. Okay, I have a coin. And a flashlight. It says battery powered, but I'm guessing I have infinite battery, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Archaeologist insight. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Oh, because I'm an archaeologist, I get to read Latin. So I'm very glad I chose archaeologist because otherwise I would not know what this means. Pro peccata unius multis dolebunt. Golden statue. A Roman gladiator mid-stride. What could have made a gladiator flee? Well, a whole bunch of things. Elephant, lion. Stop looking at me, please. I don't like the attention. So these have to all be real people, right? Real people frozen in time as golden statues because they were deemed unworthy. A young Roman woman. It looks like she was begging for her life. Okay, these statues don't look at you. They're only the ones in the wall. Now I feel like I'm going in Sophia River. Hello. No, don't look at me. I'm looking for Al. Use... Oh, you can quick save. Okay. This definitely looks like Sophia River. A Roman military commander attempting to scramble away from something. Ooh. Is this game gonna be scary? I don't know. A Roman legionary in a state of terror. Maybe he saw like Asterix and Obelix coming through. He was really scared they were gonna beat him up. Over there's Moog, the Lord of Blood, you know. We've all played this game. I saw you moving there. Some of them are like running to the outside, some of them are running to the inside, it seems. A Roman woman who appears to be praying for help that never came. I don't know if I would say she's praying, she's just kind of staring. Uh-oh. Wait, is this Al? He's got like modern clothes on. Inscribed stone tablet.
Whoever reads this I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse. You'll suffer the same fate I did.
I will.
I've spent a lifetime in this place. Going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. In here, there are only two options. Death, and that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
That's a brilliant setup for a story. You fall in this hole, you can't climb back up, and you're in this situation where you can either go back to the past and keep reliving the same events, I guess, or you can just end things right here and die, because like there's no way out of this place. But then, okay, so I guess you turn into gold the moment you die, right? Because he hanged himself, and then because he died, that's why he turned to gold. So all these people are people who died like at some point in the past. But how can you die just standing up like this, you know? Al, my dude. A golden statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al, but how is that possible? There's some magic at play here for sure. So we can either kill ourselves and just give up on life. But wait, if he hanged himself... Oh, wait. Okay, so I get it. She didn't mention he was an old man. So he must have been a young man. He came here. Then he went through this portal and he said he spent a lifetime in that city. So like he kept going through the time loop multiple times. And he spent his whole life trying to figure it out. And grew older. But then he must have found a way to come back out of it. And he was like, okay, I'm tired of doing this. I'm just going to end things. And he killed himself. And that's why now he's old. Well, already this teaches us a bunch of things. It teaches us that there's a way out of the portal. It teaches us that time passes for us while in the portal also. Interesting. Well, you might have failed, Al, but I'm going to succeed. Just watch me. Watch me from the great beyond. A young Roman woman in state of panic. I do hear you. You could speak a little louder. So he said, don't go in the portal. But then there's no game. We can't do that. The doorway. What is this voice trying to get me to step into? Ooh. Oh, it's like a straight up black hole. A Roman man on his knees as if begging his gods for mercy. Okay, I was expecting like a big, you know, purple door, you know, something kind of magical, not just this creepy black hole. Also, there's skeleton. The remains of a human. Whoever it was died a long time ago. Well, I guess we don't really have a choice. Oh, you can see like space behind it. Ooh. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. Ooh. Step through the doorway into the past. Ooh. Relief. A Roman relief depicting a great... Figure out how to return to your original time. Depicting a great circular portal and two women. I wonder who they could be. A pomegranate. Nice, nice. Here it is. This is the Forgotten City. Oh, it's the same. Okay, we just went back in the past. This is the same location. This is the same guy that was standing there. Hello.
salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I can lie. I'm Lukael and I've just come from the future. Wait, are you speaking English? Good question.
What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine?
Shrine of Proserpina?
Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime. You're not from around here, are you? And you've just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you, and what were you doing in that shrine?
So we can lie, or just be honest and say I came from the future, even though he's probably not gonna believe me, but I can't be the only one who came through here. There must have been others before. Maybe not in his lifetime, though. Already I have so many questions. So when you come in from the portal, at what point in time do you show up? Is it relative to when you came in, or like... No, because then Al would be coming out of the thing at the same time as I am, so he must have come here like a lifetime ago for him. But no, because then that would mean that time is also passing in this... Okay, I'm already overthinking this. We're not even like 30 minutes into this damn game. Already I'm overthinking this. Let's just play, and I'm sure the questions will come later. I have to stop myself, you know me. Let's just be honest. I'm Lukael, and I've just come from the future.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
Well, that's very welcoming of you. Seriously, what's today's date?
We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March?
What year?
It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from, exactly?
So it's 65 CE? Oh, wow, okay. That doesn't help me. Is this before or after Christ? Well, he wouldn't know who Christ is, right? Wait, CE? I don't actually know what CE means. Okay, CE means Common Era. Or BCE, Before Common Era. It means exactly the same thing as AD, which is Anno Domini, and BC, Before Christ. Okay, so it's still based on Christ, but it's just like a non-religious version of it, Common Era.
CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here.
So I'm not the first one.
You seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you.
Yes.
Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Your laws?
Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
No thanks. I'll make my own way.
Look, you seem like you might need a little extra help, and I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I showed you the way.
I mean, I wanted to explore by myself, though. But, alright, sure.
Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as
you
you
can follow,
see,
that's nice.
We've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
Only
Pompous
23
old bore
people.
won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics.
That's election
I'd stay
interference?
clear of it and her, if I were you. She's, it's not my place to say.
Okay,
Down on your right
Galerius.
is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. as long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Ah, don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Patricians.
Hilarious. You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What do you mean, you and me?
What did you just
So are you like me?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
Alright, lead the way. I'm not gonna make any trouble.
Understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation.
That's the golden
seems like
rule?
rough justice to you. You're in for a rude shock. Because the golden rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs?
Okay, thanks, Horatius. Cool. Obviously I have a lot of questions, but I'm going to wait until a bit later before asking them.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Lukael.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains many hundreds of years ago.
I just want to get out of here. Okay, well, if I'm role-playing as this character, let's say we don't know where we came from, right? So I guess in this situation, I would be like an archaeologist who's lost his memory and just woke up in a river. If I was to find myself in this supernatural situation of like falling in this ancient city, I don't think my first instinct would be to escape. Like I would be kind of curious, you know, I would want to explore and understand the situation I'm in. So I'll just say it's beautiful.
Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed
That you know
something so
of.
extraordinary as a city without sin?
Wait, so there's only 22 people here. You can't really run a community with just 22 people, could you? Alright, again, I have a lot of questions. I'm going to wait until later before asking them. Can't say I have.
Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, Every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it
Wow.
the Golden Rule.
This rule dates back
The golden rule.
to ancient Greece.
Talking about Caesar.
The
It's
golden rule.
extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here.
Why?
All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
I have lots of questions. Okay, so there's 22 people down here. Are they all people that came from the outside? No, right? They think they're still in the past. I mean, we are in the past. And so they're just Roman citizens that somehow found their way into the city, but there's no way to leave the city, right? It has no exit. So how did you all find your way here? Was it the same way as me? Are you all from the future? No, they have to be Roman citizens. How do you get your food? Like, do you really just grow food and that's it? Can you still hunt? Like, are there animals around? Do you have like a clear list that explains to you exactly what a sin is? Like, what is considered a sin? Would insulting someone count? Do you have to attack them? Do you have to kill them? Like, sins according to what teachings? Why do you think someone is about to commit a crime? It's actually quite a fascinating like social study, right? Like, if you were to create a community where if even one person does something bad, then everyone suffers, I feel like, yes, it would reduce crime by a lot, but sooner or later, someone's going to just snap and be either suicidal or like nihilistic or just anything like that, just insane, and will just decide to pull the plug on everyone. Like, it would have to happen eventually, so obviously the system cannot work. How fascinating. Yeah, what counts as a sin
An
here?
intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder.
What about
But
lying?
beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
So lying could potentially be a sin, in which case I wonder if, like, if you lie to the first guy when you come here, does the loop end right there? Okay, so what I'm assuming will happen is that if I break one of the sins, then everyone turns to gold and then we all die and like the time loop resets. Or maybe like we're all waiting for a specific event and then it's kind of like a detective game where you're trying to like solve the mystery of like who commits the sin that causes everyone to turn to gold, right? Maybe we have like a day or a week or something like that. If so, it would be really funny if right as you get here and you lie to that first guy, it just resets the time loop right away, like you've already fucked up. So because they weren't sure, they had to debate between themselves. But then that implies that you guys already knew that you would all die, but if it hasn't happened yet, you can't know that it's really going to happen, right? Like just because you see this inscription saying that people will turn to gold, it wouldn't have happened yet. Or else you wouldn't be here to talk about it. So like, are you just acting this way, assuming it's going to happen because of this inscription? Or has it already happened to some of you, but then like new people came and like, I don't know, how does that work? But because you weren't sure what constitutes a sin, you decided to obey the laws of the Empire. Now, I'm not actually sure what these laws were. Makes sense to me. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. What is legal isn't always moral, and many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from. Okay. Well, if we're in the past and this is ancient Rome, then it would make sense that the laws are the ones of ancient Rome. So it does make sense to me.
I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy.
What do you count as
murder,
blasphemy?
Assault and rape.
Obviously.
As well as theft and arson and so on. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Okay, well then you know that blasphemy and lying does not count as one of the sins, otherwise you would all be dead already, right? But you're saying that they are the more likely to escalate to a more severe sin later, which then would kill everyone? And so that's why you're singling these people out. Also, I'm realizing my face is like hiding some of the dialogue. I'm just going to chill over here. That should be fine. I might hide like the quest menu and stuff, but we'll see. What did you mean when you said Prof. Serpina sent me?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine,
So you saw that.
I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time.
Oh, so you know. You're right, I'm from 2,000 years in the future.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
I didn't see anything. You'd all been turned into golden statues.
I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
So how does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual.
Oh.
I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
I don't remember. I did see human remains in the temple.
I assume that was me.
Ugh.
If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
I mean, I'll do my best, but I can't promise anything.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for.
So why can't you investigate?
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today.
Right, you're having an election.
The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Fair enough. Do you have any
Do
suspects?
you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice
That's
the
fair.
independence of your investigation, the better.
So you want me to start with a clean slate. That's actually pretty reasonable. Fair enough. How do I know you're not the person responsible? Come on, tell me what you really think. No, I kind of agree with that mentality. If I do this, will you help me get back to my own time?
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Okay, so the reason I'm here right now is because in the near future you will have made the ritual, which then brought me here to this point in time. But then when did Al get here? Was Al also transported here and then... I guess he kept trying. He kept playing this game for a lifetime and he could never figure it out. I guess he's not a very good gamer. I think so. I have more questions, but I guess that's it for now. Alright, so there's 22 people in total. But he also said 3 missing, right? Or 2 missing? So there's a finite amount of characters that can be suspects and like that we can talk to. And so I'm gonna have to be taking notes of like who's who. That's all the questions I had for now.
Good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule?
Doesn't seem like I have much choice.
No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not burdened with a sense of self-sacrifice, you'll at least see the sense in self-preservation.
Good point. I'm
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave.
Of course.
Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
Well, again, you could be the person, but I guess that would be too... It's not going to be him. It's going to be someone else. All right, let's get started.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
This will prioritize the new quest, showing its objective markers only. All right. I guess I'll follow your lead for us to get started. There's a lot of sunlight here, even though like this there is the only light they have. I guess this little hole in the ceiling. Okay, so we can zoom in, just like in Cyberpunk. That's nice. Can't really inspect any of this. Game's looking a little crusty, but unfortunately I have to run it on medium because it's kind of laggy otherwise. Something's wrong at the Shrine of Apollo. Find out what's distressing Lucretia. A lararium, a small household shrine where ancient Romans offered daily prayers for protection. He's got 246 denarius. Is that like their currency? We can steal it. I'm not gonna steal that. Nothing else. So interesting, they allow you to steal things. Note from Scintilla. Scintilla expresses, first typo of the game already, to Sentius for adopting her. Scintilla to Sentius, may Jupiter Optimus Maximus continue to protect and guide you. Thank you for making me your daughter and for the lovely birthday pendant. I promise we'll wear it always. I feel so safe and fortunate to have you as my father and Sentia as my sister. I sense you've been feeling apprehensive about the election next month, but if you can just show them the strong and dependable man I know you to be, you will be re-elected. I'm sure of it. So Scintilla is Sentius's adopted daughter. And then there's also a Sentia. Wait, there's multiple pages? Okay, I guess not in this case, but sometimes there will be. So they speak Latin, but to me it sounds like English. And to them, I'm speaking Latin, although with an accent, which is like interesting. Like, what kind of accent would it be? Why do I have an accent? There's some weird magic at play here. Okay, and yet these statues also look at me. Creepy. Produce bowl. These carrots are purple as they were before modern orange carrots were cultivated. Is that so? We used to have purple carrots? That sounds kind of cool. It's no doubt unpleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regard that as their servant's problem. Hey, this game is going to give me an opportunity to learn a bit more about ancient Rome, which, like, I don't really know that much about. Everything I know about it, I probably learned from Asterix, and, like, I don't know how valid of a of a source that is. A Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells like ash. Well, at least it doesn't smell like ass. Got a bust, a sculpture of Ares, the Greek god of war, known to the Romans as Mars. That's right. A small vial containing a rudimentary perfume made from flowers and oil. Cynthia's journal. Dear Diary. I don't know if ancient Romans used to write diaries like that, but today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied while we all deal with the sudden and devastating disappearance of my sister. Okay. So Scintilla has disappeared. I will make a note of that. As a dutiful daughter, of course I shall oblige. The following pages contain my innermost secrets. Ooh. Cynthia believes everyone is entitled to their secrets, and yet I will be reading them. Wait, reading mode? Oh. No, I'm good. I know you're reading this, Father. I may be young, but do not think me stupid. We're all entitled to our secrets. She's a clever one. A brass mirror. The brass has been polished into a rudimentary mirror, which has been... another typo. Used for applying makeup. Wouldn't you use like a more clear metal, you know, like some kind of steel? Wouldn't that reflect more than brass? I don't know. Cynthia's chest. More money, which I will not be taking. And I guess she's here as well. We could question her.
Oh, another one fresh out of the baths, I take it.
Hello.
Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
What's your story? Do you know a way out of here? What do you think about the Golden Rule? So, what's your story?
I'm Cynthia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
Yeah, I guess I'm just wearing, like, modern clothing. I'm not from around here.
Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation?
I'm a detective of sorts. Do you know a way out of here?
Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
You who? Like, who else are you including along with me? Can I help?
I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
I mean, there has to be a way to get out of here, right? What if you somehow climbed out from that hole we saw on the ceiling? When did you last see her?
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
Yeah, plus I don't think 22 people is enough to keep like population going, right? I remember there's like a specific number of people you would need in a community for there to be no inbreeding. I don't remember what that number is, but I think it's higher than 22. She was seeing someone?
I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me.
Why is that?
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
Okay. Your father didn't mention any of this when I spoke to him. Any idea why?
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock. He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done.
Is it possible her lover was involved?
I don't know. But it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
So you don't know who the lover is. Sentius, Sentia, Scintilla, why are your names all so similar?
You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers.
Oh, really?
I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market.
Yeah, that would make sense.
His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest. And my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she's affectionately known as Scintilla.
Sentia Minor, I guess it's like junior, kind of. You look surprisingly relaxed about your sister's disappearance. I mean, not really, she seems kind of upset.
I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
Tell Sentius you suspect Sentia, okay. Just an observation.
If you must know, I'm here because my father has forbidden me from leaving the villa. I couldn't bear to lose you too, he says, as if he loves me, and not because he needs at least one daughter he can trade off.
Well, could it be both? I don't know, like the arranged marriages was such a part of your culture and your customs, like you would think that wouldn't really upset you? That's all the questions I had.
So you'll help me find her?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, thank you. You should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find something the rest of us missed.
So suddenly you want my help, huh? I'll get right on it. I'll see what I can do. I mean, I got another thing to do first, but yeah.
Thanks. I'd appreciate it.
What do you think about the golden rule?
You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent God would let my sister go missing on his or her watch?
Well, have they intervened in any other way? Like, fair question. Maybe it's best if you don't go insulting gods just in case. I don't know, it doesn't seem like blasphemy is one of the sins, because otherwise you guys would have turned already, so fair question.
Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister?
Okay, don't overdo it.
What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought.
Okay, well, you just proved that it's not one of the rules. That was kind of reckless, but now I guess we know it doesn't break it.
I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving.
So you don't actually know that this is going to happen. You just think it will. I mean, I guess it would be a good way to get everyone to behave in this community, but because there already exist statues that like look at you, obviously there's like a magical element to this. But it's wild that they would do this just on fate that this is actually the case. I suppose we'll find out sooner or later.
I suppose we will. Of course.
These are just the questions I've already asked, I guess. Nothing yet. I'll keep investigating.
Please do.
All right. So this is a room. Ink jar. A ceramic ink jar. The ink appears to be made from soot and water. Scentilla's chest. Cosmetic jar. Brass jar containing some sort of powder for makeup. Okay. Well, she said there might be something in her room, but... Oh, note from Scintilla. Hidden under the pillow? Come on, you guys would have seen that. Scintilla, to Sentius and Cynthia, may Clementia give you the strength to forgive me. I am sorry to have to leave you this way, but I have found a way to escape and I must take it. I hope we meet again someday. Okay, all these letters kind of use the same handwriting, so I guess that can't really tell us anything. But I'm going to take that. Vanishing Act. I should tell Cynthia about Scintilla's note in which she mentioned escaping. Sure. I mean, you with... Hi. What are you doing here?
Is proof of a degenerate mind.
Okay.
What now?
Horatius. What's your story?
I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughter.
Did a poor job of that.
And the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals.
And how did you end up here?
I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum fugitive tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose.
Interesting. So you ended up here from falling into a river, kind of like me. Except I wasn't led all the way here. I first was on the riverbank. Sorry to hear that.
Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Scintilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit.
What can you tell me about the magistrate?
He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words.
Who's Seneca?
Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah? I don't know who Seneca is. Do you know a way out of here?
I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested.
Again, I don't know who that is. Can I see the citizen register?
I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Okay, that should be very useful. Ah. Okay, so wow, that's everyone? Aurelia, Claudia, and they're in alphabetical order too. Register of each person in the city in alphabetical order. Okay. Thanks.
Of course.
What do you think about the golden rule?
Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion.
Right.
By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men. The idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like 100-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it.
I guess that works well in theory, and if you're dealing with smaller groups, but if you're dealing with very large groups, like a whole city, then obviously it becomes a big problem, because sooner or later someone's going to fuck up. This decimation he's talking about kind of sounds like something corporations would do to prevent unionization. It's like, well, if some of you form a union, we're just going to fire everyone. And then so it incentivizes people to like snitch on other people trying to form a union, you know? That's kind of what this reminds me of. Are you saying you're in favor of it? Where I'm come from, that would be considered collective punishment, which is a war crime.
What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. But life is harsh, and I've come to accept my lot. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it. So railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides.
I guess so.
As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing.
Kind of curious to hear what he has to say about this.
War crime. Isn't that a contradiction in terms?
I know, right?
As Cicero said, in times of war the law falls silent.
I've also always found that so weird that there was war crimes. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're already murdering people on a massive scale, so how are some killings war crimes, but then some are just totally fine? I agree with you.
Good. Perhaps we'll make a legionary out of you yet.
I mean, I agree with you as far as it's kind of a contradiction. Not that people should commit war crimes, but, you know.
If you like.
Who are you going to vote for? Oh.
Not that it's any of your business. But my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery, and intimidation. The man's a savage. But he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change.
Okay, well, if I have to predict what's going to happen, I think we're living through this election, and then this person you mentioned will become in power instead of Sentius. They will kind of lead to a more reckless lifestyle in the community, and then someone breaks the golden rule and everyone dies, right? And then you restart at the beginning, maybe? Isn't that kind of weak? I mean, you can't change everything, so can I help?
I appreciate the thought, but you're new here, and I just can't see how you could make an impact in the time between now and the election this afternoon. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings.
Figure out how to make Malleolus drop out of the election. Meet Malleolus. We have a lot of leads already. Can we talk about Scintilla?
What business is that of yours?
I'm looking for her.
A lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better?
I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, right? Sometimes fresh eyes help. It sounds like you don't... It sounds like you don't want me looking for her. No, it's just a bit of pride, I think, as in like, oh, we've been trying, so...
I suppose that's true.
I know what you did to her. You can just bluff to everyone and be like, I know you did it, and then hope that one of them is gonna break, but... It's so interesting that they allow you to bluff. Did you notice anything suspicious before she went missing?
Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I suppose.
Okay.
Fine. All right. Please keep an eye out for anything that might lead us to Scintilla.
Will do. Interesting. So... citizen register. Let's take a look at that. Aurelia, she's a tavern keeper, claims to know a way out. Oh, is some of this information going to be added from me like talking to them? Or is this just how it is? Claudia, she's the wife of Malleolus. Decius, who's a merchant. Domitius, who's Malleolus's guard. Duilius, who's unable to work, imprisoned in the warehouse. Equidia, she's the Vestal priestess. Fabia, he's the baker. Galerius, farmer. Georgius, he's a merchant. Hannibal, foraged for scrap, died in the cistern. Horatius, guard. Kabash, fisherman, disappeared. Julia, debt bondsman to Malleolus. Livia, hairdresser, refuses to work. Oh no, everyone's hair is gonna look terrible. Lucretia, nurse. Malleolus, money lending, not to be trusted. So these are the notes from Horatius. Navia, physician, locked herself in the palace. Octavia, cleaning, gardening. Rufius, patrol, increasingly agitated. Cynthia, pupil, who we met, restricted to her villa for safety. Centilla, pupil, missing. Sentius, the magistrate. Ulpius, debt bondsman to Malleolus. Virgil, architect. And that's everyone. Okay, that's a lot of people. I'm sure as we keep talking to them, I'm going to become more familiar with them, but that's already a lot of things. So I'm not going to write their names down in my notes until I've actually met them, so I get like a sense of who they are. But I guess I will write down these notes. Alright, so that's a bunch of people, but let's follow up with Cynthia. Did you not find the letter under the pillow?
What have you discovered?
Found the letter in her room which mentioned her plan to escape.
What? Really? I swear, I searched her room top to bottom and never saw that. I wonder how I could have missed it. Strange, but well done, I suppose. But it's odd. It was only a few months ago that Centilla's friend Yulia let slip she was planning an escape of her own. And yet, Yulia's still here. You should go and speak with her. Find out if she knows anything. She lives in the villa next door.
Okay, we'll be asking questions to Yulia then. The fact you did not find this letter is extremely suspicious because it was very, very easy to find, which means either you're lying that you looked in a room or someone placed it there recently to make it seem like she was leaving of her own accord instead like of being kidnapped or something. Okay, let's follow up on the thing that Centius asked of us.
Citizen.
Magistrate. So we've got a guy who's doing push-ups here. I love the concept of like exploring this very small kind of contained area because as you keep running back and forth, eventually you know it very well, you know it like the back of your hand, you know its people, you know kind of like how they live and etc, etc. It's what made Outer Wilds so great. Well, one of the things that made it great. It's just a great concept for a video game. I do hear you. So we've got multiple mysteries. People disappearing. The Shrine of Apollo. Hello. Old chest. It's locked. Medical tools. A collection of barbaric-looking medical implements, including forceps and shears. Herb rack. A wooden rack containing various dried and ground substances. Mortar and pestle. Haven't changed much in the last 2 millennia, no indeed. But like, where would you have even found all these things? Like, who even built this city if there's no exit, right? With what material? Is this person dead? Lucretia, stranger. Oh, I think they're dead. I hate how they look at you. Do they look at me because they look at anyone, or did they look at me because I was sent by the goddess? Hello, Lucretia.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Julia.
Julia's
She
dead.
was a good woman.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly."
So he knew she was poisoned.
Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Okay, a whole bunch of information here. So, how could someone possibly kill her without breaking the golden rule? Would poisoning someone not count? I do wish there was like a log of everything they just said, so I could like scroll back and see what they said and note down like the names and things. You know, like in Disco Elysium or something. That snake's cruel black eyes. Is there something I can do to help?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
Tell Sentius you suspect Lucretia. So how come this isn't getting translated by the magic? Genetricum fututor. Okay, so I guess we could either steal it from his stand or we could buy it for 1,000 of the currency. Which I guess we would get from like stealing money from a bunch of people to get enough to buy that thing from him. But then we would need to go back in time to bring her this herb before the girl dies. I'll get right on it. I'll see what I can do. So what's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician.
Oh.
This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired.
Isn't
and
she
out of
locked
my
in the
depth
palace?
And miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
Okay, you don't have to include me, I just got here. How did you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but
They had
I knew
divorce.
he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran.
Smart.
I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
So they all kind of have the same backstory, it seems. Like there was a great fire, and then they ran for the river, and the next thing they knew, they woke up here. Fair enough. Do you know a way out of here?
I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here.
I'll try.
do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth, and dangerously short on everything you can imagine.
What do you think about the golden rule?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
I mean, that depends, right? If that golden rule actually worked, then no one would be able to do anything bad. But then some people are still finding like loopholes to get away with it. And you can't punish them, so you're at the mercy of this arbitrary rule that you don't even know if it's real or not, that is enforced by the gods? It is kind of a shit deal. I keep hearing the statues whispering. Is that normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her.
Yeah?
But that was Nevia, and
yeah,
she went a little mad.
Tell me more about her.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues.
Oh?
This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about.
Maybe they can be saved.
The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain.
Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means.
Right.
I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
Man, everyone's got problem. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, I suppose.
A thorn in the paw. Okay, well, this might be Rufus, because there was a note that he was getting increasingly agitated, so maybe that's why, because of his rheumatism. So Nevia found something interesting about the statues. Maybe they're still alive, like maybe there's a way to communicate with them or to bring them back from being golden, which would be very useful down the line. Can we talk about Yulia?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Did you hear her say anything about escaping?
How did you know that? Yes, she did mutter something about the only way out. A few times, but nothing more than that, I'm afraid.
The only way out? Could it be that the only way out is to die, and so like she poisoned herself? Maybe? Do you think she was poisoned, or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
But then wouldn't suicide also be, like, does that count as a sin? Do you know what poisoned her?
Hemlock, I believe.
Okay. Is there any reason why she might have wanted to die?
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolas' villa, and they are quite secretive.
But she did, I guess she did leave eventually.
Gladly.
Okay, well, the way out might have been to die, and so like she did it to herself. That's my first thought when I hear that.
Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Lucretia. So we can search her body. She has no items. Okay. And everyone has quest for us. Ooh, that's a peener. A large stone statue of Apollo, the Roman and Greek god of disease and healing, among other things. Alright. Wait, which was the quest that Sentius told us to look into at first? He said go to... I think he said go to the Shrine of Apollo, so that's the thing we just did. Alright. So... persuade Decius to hand over the silphium resin. He's probably not gonna want to. I guess from here we'll just keep talking to people and see what we can learn. Hello.
A fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Who are you?
Greetings, I'm Georgius.
Georgius.
It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary.
Oh, thank you.
Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design.
Yeah.
I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India. And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you.
I'm sure.
Tell me, I must know. From which exotic part of the world do you hail?
Quebec. You can't open your inventory while in conversation to look at your notes. That kind of bothers me. My nation doesn't exist yet. I'm from beyond the edge of the known world. You'd never believe me if I told you. Yeah.
And now you have me more intrigued than before. But since it appears you do not wish to share, I will wait until we are better friends.
Sure.
We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
You're awfully friendly, aren't you? What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
A tailor? Why set up a tailor shop here?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
I mean, you have to do something, I guess.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
The more we have a semblance of normality, the more... Yeah, that makes sense. Like, if you live in a very abnormal community, the more likely you are to become very just panicked or disturbed or crazy. And so having some normalcy does help to keep everyone kind of calm and acting normally. I suppose so.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
I guess so. How did you end up here? Let me guess, there was a fire and you jumped in a river.
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Oh. Why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you were drinking and then, yeah, he was there during the fire, he fell in the river, and then same thing as everyone else pretty much, except he was drunk so he doesn't remember it.
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Oh. So it seems like some of them fell in the river and then just woke up in the city itself. But he's saying he woke up at a campfire, went through a cave, and then fell through a trapdoor, which is kind of like what we did. Okay. Let's talk about
Anything
something
you
else.
like.
Do you know a way out of here?
Shh! Not so loud. What are you playing at?
Did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
Which one?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. It is a long story.
It's not as if I'm going anywhere.
Aha, you are witty. I like that. Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse.
Right.
See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
And why hasn't anyone done that yet?
They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place. And so I say, it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
But then what happened to that person? Were they turned into gold, or like did they just renounce on their plan? I'm waiting for like one of them to mention Al, right? Because Al lived a lifetime here, but I guess he kept going through... I don't know, we haven't had a time loop yet. I don't know what event kind of triggers the time loop. Maybe it's like the election. I don't even know if time is moving in real time. It seems like it's mostly based on who you're talking to. Got it, thanks. So what do you think about the golden rule?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
Okay, but like, are you saying that actually happened? Like that's real history, or... I don't know, did the Roman actually believe gods existed for real? They must have, right? It wasn't just a superstition for them, like they actually believed it was real. Which is weird because, say, if you look at Mount Olympus, which is like a real mountain in Greece, it's really not that tall. Like you can see at the top of it, you can even climb there, I'm sure. So like, how could the Greek believe that the gods were there when you can go there yourself and see there's nothing? Did they think the gods resided in like an alternate dimension or something? I don't know how much they truly believed it, like literally, that all these gods were real. They must have, because they were doing like sacrifices and praying to them and building temples. I don't know, it's always interesting to see how religions started, because something like, say, Christianity, you know, it all started with the Bible, and so like all the things that people know about that's kind of like where it starts with, like vaguely. I'm not even really that familiar about it, but for something like Greek mythology, like where did it start? Who first told this story about Hades capturing Persephone? Like how was everyone kind of in agreement about the lore, you know? Like who decided this? Who first wrote these stories? And then everyone kind of believed them. But yeah, I guess I can't really blame this guy for believing in gods when like people are literally being turned to gold statues in this case. What can we do about it?
If we are to survive, I say we must each keep the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing.
I mean, that's very reasonable. Sounds simple enough.
It does, doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
And that's not just true of this game with the golden rule, you know, that's also the case in our reality. You know, you could be leading this wonderful, very altruistic life, doing a lot of good, being kind to all the people around you, and then someone will get drunk and drive their car and like kill you accidentally, or like, and then this one person, because of their one selfish act, they undo like so much good. But that's kind of the price you pay for living in a community of people, you know, it's the risk we take. Like there isn't really a solution for that, unfortunately, except if everyone lives by themselves, like isolated from each other, but even then, like everything is interconnected, so... I know, I've seen it happen.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
Have you really been using them for your clothes? That's not right. That was a real person, dude. Like, they might still be conscious in there. Who are you going to vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus.
Really?
I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Oh, so it's because of intimidation. Anything I can do to change that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
Alright, I'll be going now.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Georges, what a friendly fellow. Oh, you did. You put clothes on this poor statue. This statue that is clearly aware because it's looking at me. Okay. So everyone has a lot to say, huh? It's gonna take a while for us just to talk to like every person. It might take me like 2-3 episodes just to do that. George's chest. He's got some money. So to be able to pay the guy for the Sylphium, we might need to steal the money of like everyone in the city. Unless we can somehow convince him. Also, there's like a photo mode? Oh. But I can't see my body. So it's not like in Cyberpunk. Collection of dyes. Dyes for coloring clothing. These appear to have been extracted from plants and insects. Yeah, dyeing clothes was not easy. Oh, I still have my flashlight. They would be like, what the hell is that? I wonder if one of them is gonna make a comment about it. Peccator? Sinner. Ooh. Who lives here, like some kind of builder? Some architect? Accusatory note. Virgil, I know who you are and what you want. Turn away from this path before we all suffer for your sins. Okay, someone accused him. Virgil, do you really want to be responsible for the sin that destroys us all? Virgil's chest. Bunch of money. Wait, there's an accusatory note. Virgil, they may not see you yet, but I want you to know I see you. I see you, my boy. Virgil, huh? Is Virgil feeling motivated? A bellows. A pair of bellows used for blowing air into the furnace and help raise the heat. An anvil. A Roman anvil. It looks odd without a horn, but that must be a more modern innovation. True. I'm gonna get lost for sure. Oh, this is the toilets. Communal public toilets. These holes must be designed for use with the sponge on a stick. Yeah, I saw these at the museum a couple years ago. Like there was a whole expose about kind of toilets throughout human history and like how they've evolved through time. It was quite fascinating. A sponge stick, and yeah, they really did use these. A small stick with a sponge attached. This must be what the Romans used instead of toilet paper. Appears to be for communal use. Best to put it back immediately. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't touch it too much. But just the fact they even had like a sewer system is already pretty fascinating. Like it's really impressive when you think about it. Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally? Oh no. Theophilus. Who is this? Died on the toilet. A real Tywin move. Always remember they're watching. Who's they? The gods? Whoever defecated here needs to see a doctor. Oh no. Not the graffitis calling people out about their bowel movements. Alright, so who else can we talk to? I know you can, girl. Fountain. A fountain producing fresh water, but where could the water be coming from? I mean, yeah, they would need a source of fresh water for them to survive down here. I guess it comes from the earth? Like, did they build that? How would they even build, like, any of this down here? Unless there used to be an exit and there was, like, a cave-in that locked them all in here? I don't know. Or, like, this place was built by the gods as, like, some kind of sick social experiment. An old chest. 10 fletched arrows. Okay. A lot of noise in there. Note from Navia. I'm locking myself in. Don't try to follow me. Nothing good will come of it. Is someone getting like beat up in there? What are these noises? You can kind of see the sky from here. I wonder if time is passing, because it feels a little darker now than it did before, so maybe there is actually like real time. Hey guys. Some denarius. These don't belong to anyone, so we can take those. So now we have some money. I guess they belong to these people, but they're goners. Alright, so that's what you mean by there's no escape. It's like if you were to try to climb down, you would just die. Whoops. See, I was just trying to get on the edge and I jumped too far. Continue from last save. Oh god, when was my last save? Ah.
Hello again, my sartorial friend.
Okay, so it brought me back in front of our friend Georges. I'm gonna have to go back through all the houses. Oh, there's someone new now. For some reason, I thought there was going to be like an invisible wall that prevented you from falling, because there was at the first place I tried to jump.
Make sure you stay away from that empty shrine. It's going to collapse at any moment.
Hey, wait.
I hope you're taking care of yourself.
Wait, people are like walking around. I want to talk to you.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to our little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived
So
on a
this is
sad day,
Virgil.
friend. What with Julia's death?
Yeah.
I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
Virgil. So you're Dante's brother. What's your story?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people, that kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
Look at his little face. I do kind of want to hear about these things. Tell me about the city's history.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek.
Isn't it common for Romans to copy Greek art and architecture? What does that mean?
I'm not sure. It could mean that the Romans, who first started building here, were just copying Greek architecture, which they do all the time. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
Say talk to these golden statues? That has to be what's going to happen. Eventually, we'll be able to talk to the golden statues. It has to be. Tell me about the city's architecture.
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake and allows us to fish and farm.
Oh, so you can fish and... Oh. So that's how they get food to eat. It's because they can farm and fish. But yeah, like aqueducts and sewer systems, they're like a really amazing invention. It's wild to imagine that people had come up with that and like engineered such complex systems thousands of years ago. Like it would require so much planning and like organization on a large scale. You know, you would need a lot of people to organize together and decide to build that like under the city. And then like if you think about even nowadays trying to plan for infrastructure and like social you know, just to build anything that would benefit a city, it's really hard to do because people already live there. So it's like you have to kind of build around them. And so it's hard to, like, it's really hard to get anything done, basically. But somehow they managed to do it at the time. But yeah, it's one big problem that like every civilization throughout human history has had to deal with and find a solution for is how to dispose of waste, you know, what to do with the poop. There is so much poop being produced by people, so you need to find some way to get rid of it. And the fact that we had sewer systems, even all the way back then, is pretty amazing. If they bring water into the city, could we use them to escape?
Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
Figure out how to get into the upper cistern. Okay, even... Okay, if the gods can hear you, it won't matter if you're whispering. I think they can still hear you. Tell me about the temple up on the bluff.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know.
Man, this game is dropping so many hints and little clues and little like, oh, maybe you could try doing that. Maybe you should go and check that out. Like, there's so much already.
Of course.
Do you know a way out of here?
You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the Golden Rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Novio Magus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
Tolerant, huh? And why would people need to be tolerant with you, Virgil? Is there anything you want to share with the class? What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I mean, not really. You know, we're talking about morality here, which is a very, very subjective thing. Like, especially back in ancient Rome. I mean, this is the stuff philosophers spend so much time debating and discussing, and like there's no right or wrong answer about what is right or wrong. It's all a matter of perspective and your own values and opinions and customs and history. And I mean, all this could just mean that there is no golden rule. Maybe it's not even a real thing and you guys are all scared for no reason, but like, even if you did commit a sin, nothing would happen. Maybe people already have and nothing's happened. Again, what do they base this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I was talking to you, dude. I was talking to you. Who are you? Stranger looks busy. Okay, I think this is going to be the event that causes the time loop, maybe? Just as I was discussing, why are you guys like believing this? Interesting. All right, let's see. So, do they need like everyone to make their way here? I guess that gives us some time to talk. Hello, Sentius. He's busy. Old scroll. The Myth of the Golden Rule by Durotas the Younger. As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for the city. For our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion, he deserves our admiration. But here I must depart from custom. For his attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching, and deserving of our contempt. Ugh. Who among us has not awoken at night in a cold sweat, fearing some sort of accidental transgression of the Golden Rule? All of us must accept that we are all capable of error, whether from a momentary lapse in judgment
Citizens,
or a conscious decision based on
body of
faulty
voters
reasoning.
gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
There's not that
As
many people
agreed,
here.
We shall dispense with ballots, and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your
This
vote.
is the guy.
I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Malleolus.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
That's the guy.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
You don't vote?
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus. I said, hail, Magistrate Malleolus. That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
Really?
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius. Here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Guy's ready to punch.
It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is, a children's fable.
I mean, there's a possibility
exploited by
that's
a
true.
treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
Oh, jeez.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Well, Sentius back to the shrine and uses. Wait, Sentius? Oh, he ran? Run side to side, don't let them hit you. Oh, we're being... By who? Oh, by these... Oh, shit! We're being attacked by the statues. Oh, so I could have just died from being killed by the statues? But instead I'm going to restart at the beginning. Oh, I see. Well, Sentius back to the shrine and use his portal again. So how much time do you have in total? That was what, like an hour and a half maybe? Or like an hour? Huh.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Whoa, bad dream or something? That's a negative on being deceased. I'm Lukael, and we've had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
There's the time loop. Alright, your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer to take me to Sentius so he can tell me about the Golden Rule.
Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No problem, I have to go.
And since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Is it... the fuck is that? Zipline handlebar. A rudimentary wooden zipline handlebar, really? Oh. I thought it was gonna be like a pocket watch.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
Hey, thanks.
And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage.
Oh, that's why you're giving it to me.
But don't worry, it's completely safe.
Probably.
Probably.
the little shifty eyes crack me up. Thanks, I'll be going now.
Alright, see you around.
So that's the time loop. So I can use this? Oh, to ride all the way over there. Well, that's cool that they allow you to travel kind of faster. Alright, so that does answer a few of my questions that I had. First of all, time does progress like naturally as we're doing things, even as we're having conversation, because it interrupted my conversation with Virgil. The election. Second of all, the Golden Rule is real. We just had that confirmed. And interestingly, it wasn't even from killing Sentius. It was just from expressing, like, looking forward to killing him. That's what triggered it, right? He said, like, I'm going to enjoy killing you. And that's where it started. Which, I didn't think that was going to be the tipping point. I thought maybe it was when he died. Because, like, a murder was committed, and thus, you know, the Golden Rule is broken. But it wasn't even the murder. How strange. So we have a bunch of leads. I've traveled thousands of years into the past. I'll need to find a way back to my original timeline somehow. According to Sentius, I'll be flung back to my own time if I can create a paradox. I'll need to change history in a way that makes my being in the past impossible. For example, if I prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, then he'll never create the portal. It'll be impossible for me to be in the past. Makes sense. The city lives in fear of a mysterious law called the Golden Rule.
The Golden Rule.
We have a bunch of optional leads. Figure out who is most likely to break the Golden Rule and inform Sentius. It seems everyone in the city is going to die because of one person breaking the rule. I need to figure out who it is. To that end, Sentius asked me to talk to everyone, help them, if he'll win their trust. He also authorized me to enter their homes and inspect their possessions and documents if necessary. Tell Sentius you suspect Lucretia. She swore she'd kill Decius if he continued to withhold life-saving medicine. Sentia seemed strangely relaxed about the disappearance of her sister. Domitius has been intimidating voters into voting for Malleolus. If Malleolus wins the election, he'll sentence Sentius to death for treason. Which is the spark that starts the whole thing. Something's wrong at the Shrine of Apollo. Try to persuade Decius to hand over the Silphium resin. Centilla, the magistrate's youngest daughter, has disappeared in mysterious circumstances. But how does someone go missing in a city with no exits and no crime? It's election day and Malleolus is hoping to oust Sentius as magistrate. I need to stop him somehow. We have to find a way to make him drop out of the election. I hear Nevia locked herself in the palace. I should find her. The front door is locked. There must be another way in. I've been asked to find a treatment for rheumatism for a patient who is suffering. For this, we need to speak to Nevia. Domitius has denied me access to Malleolus's villa. I'll need to get creative if I want to get inside. Has he? We haven't even met this guy. I need to get into the upper cistern somehow. Right, we didn't have time to read this whole scroll. All of us must accept that we are all capable of error, whether from a momentary lapse in judgment or a conscious decision based on faulty reasoning. Yet the great threat, the sword of Damocles that we live under, is, I believe, merely a deception, and I shall prove it to you. Let me begin by dismissing the counter-arguments. First, it may be argued that the inscription stating, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one," is evidence that the Golden Rule is very real, but that is logically unsound, for we cannot assume the writers knew any more than we did. True. That this message was inscribed does not make it true, any more than if I were to inscribe, "Dorotas the Younger is a god." Second, it may be argued that the statues in this place are evidence that the Golden Rule is real. You need not remind me of that. It was I who discovered them all around the city. It was I who collected them, placed them in a handcart, and placed them in the niches in which they sit today. I will not soon forget them. And yet I refuse to leap to the conclusion that they were once real people. There is simply no evidence to support that conclusion. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion sculpture Galatea to life, we do not believe it is true. You don't? Why should we take a different view here? Wait, so some person went around and collected all the golden statues and placed them where they are? So I guess that means their location has nothing to do with their fate or who they were. Interesting. So I guess I'm the only person for whom the statues' heads turn, right? Because I was sent by the gods or something? But no one else notices that. Ultimately, these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there is only one way for me to prove that the Golden Rule is a falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologize in advance for this, but one day you will see this moment as a turning point in our city's history. Let us see once and for all if the Golden Rule is real, as I strike one of you with my fist. And who wrote this? It's an old scroll. Okay, so this must be from like a previous time, before these people lived here. It must be from a previous group. Okay. Well, there certainly was not 22 people at that election. There was like maybe 10 people. So where was everyone else? A few of them have disappeared. Some of them are locked in different places. It's gonna take a while to like actually meet everyone and do all of these quests. Like, this is not supposed to be a very long game, but like from what I'm seeing so far, I don't know, it seems pretty long. I hope people will be interested in watching this playthrough, because I can tell it's going to take me quite a few episodes to play it. But it's very intriguing. It's a great setup for this mystery. Time loops are always very, very interesting, very ripe for some rich storytelling and mystery solving. It's just a lot of fun, you know, you familiarize yourself with the area, with the people, you get to try different things, see what happens if you do, like test out different theories. It's one of the aspects that made Outer Wilds such a great game. There's a lot more, of course, but so I'm definitely intrigued. But I've been recording for a while, so I guess after seeing our first time loop, now is a good time to stop the episode. If somehow this was your first video on my channel that you watched, please consider subscribing to the channel. I play all kinds of indie games in this style. You can already find a lot of other games that I've played on the channel. Indie games in this style, but also some bigger like AAA titles. And if you want to catch the next episode in this playthrough a little bit earlier than everyone and also send some support my way, you can do so by checking out my Patreon in the description below. So until next time, I had fun playing this, hope you had fun watching it, and I'll see you in the next episode for some more Forgotten City. À la prochaine.